everybody, my name is Nathan Turner, and this is my visual aid, Ollie the American Alligator. Today I'm presenting to you guys a template on the evolutionary history, the adaptations, and the tools that members of the family of reptiles known as crocodilia have used to ensure their survival on Earth for millions of years. Since the dawn of their existence over 65 million years ago, crocodilia were able to reach lengths of up to 40 feet long. That is roughly the size of a school bus. Now, before we talk about how they have changed, we have to talk about how they began, their ancestors. During the Mesozoic period between 65 and 245 million years ago, Archosauria, or ruling reptiles, roamed the Earth. Crocodilians are the only remaining Archosauria to still be present on Earth according to the Encyclopedia of Animals. Evidence of these supercrocs have been found in the Sahara Desert, found by paleontologist Paul Sereno. The supercroc known as Suprasuchus imperator had a 6-foot-long skull, and by its large spinal vertebrae found, they believe that this predator could reach a length of up to 40 feet long and could weigh in between 10 to 15 tons. Now that we know about their ancestors and how they began, we can talk about how they have changed. Very little has changed about crocodilian over the course of millions of years, except for their size. Their size has changed due to the extinction of their ancestors, the dinosaurs. Since food on Earth got smaller, the crocodilians had to get smaller. The American alligator will reach lengths on average between 10 to 16 feet. The largest known crocodile on present-day Earth is the Indo-Pacific crocodile, and that can reach lengths of up to 25 feet long. Now that we know about how they have changed, we can talk about the tools that have ensured their survival and ensured that they have become and stayed really great apex predators. An apex predator is a predator that resides at the top of their food chain. They do not have to contend with other predators for food, and they are responsible for keeping the balance in their ecosystem. Now, what makes Ollie and his crocodile cousins such great apex predators are the tools he has on his body. His tail is very, very strong and powerful. This serves as his motor. It propels him through the water, but also serves as a weapon whenever he gets older. In between each one of his back toes, he has webbed feet. This allows him to paddle and change directions in the water and steer. On his back, he has plates known as scutes or osteoderms that are made out of bone. And these basically serve as his body armor. Until he gets older, he can actually be preyed upon by other alligators and other native animals. But since he's also an ectothermic reptile and he cannot regulate his own body temperature, whenever Ollie gets too cool, he can slither out of his swamp and sit in the sun. And these osteoderms, since they're made out of bone and they're a dark color, they will absorb and hold the sun's energy, which will then raise his body temperature. Now, on top of his skull, on top of each eyelid, he has another osteoderm, and he can depress both of his eyeballs into his skull so that the osteoderm on his eye will protect his eyeballs whenever he gets into a fight or runs into something in his swampy, murky water. Also, he has 2 sets of eyelids. One he closes that's not clear, just like ours, but another is called a nictating membrane, and that is a clear eyelid that comes across his eye that acts as his goggles whenever he's hunting or swimming under the water. His ears are located behind his eyes, his nostrils are on the top of his nose, and he can close each of those to keep water from getting into his ears or getting into his nose. Based on studies and research done by the Savannah Herpetology Laboratory in Georgia, they have found that alligators adapted to live in colder conditions, unlike their crocodilian cousins. Whenever they begin to get too cold, crocodiles or alligators can actually hibernate. They do not have webbed front feet, so they can dig in the ground and they can hibernate under the ground. But they've also found that alligators will swim to the shallows of the swamp in the water, and they'll submerge their entire body except for their nostrils, and they'll actually allow the water around them to freeze, which will freeze around their body. And as long as their nostrils are above the water and are able to get breaths of air, the alligator can survive being frozen. Now, in conclusion, you guys should be able to understand how crocodilians and alligators have all been able to survive and thrive on Earth for millions of years, and how they're even projected to outlive the human race. The next time you guys see a school bus going down the road, just think about what it would have been like to live with such great predators at one time. Thank you.